A comedy roast that may have gone too far, a news roundup, and accountability of your neighbor? We're going to get into it. Let's get it. Welcome. First of all, welcome. This is Unsolicited Perspectives. I am your host, Bruce Anthony, here to lead the conversation in important events and topics that are shaping today's society. Join the conversation and follow us wherever you get your audio podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for our video podcast, YouTube exclusive content, and our YouTube membership. Rate, review, like, comment, share. Share with your friends, share with your family. Hell, even share with your enemies. On today's episode, it's the Sibling Happy Hour. I'm here with my sis, Jay Andrea. We're going to be dilly-dadding a little bit. Then we're going to be talking about two news stories that caught my attention. And then the Am I the Jerk Reddit about neighbors. But that's enough of the intro. Let's get to the show. What up, sis?
What up, brother?
I can't call it. Now, I did this rundown thinking that you were on social media and at least caught some of the clips from the Kevin Hart roast. You didn't catch none?
No, I have not been on social media.
Okay. Well, here's the kicker. It was a roast of Kevin Hart, like you know how roasts do, right?
Yes.
It's a bunch of different people from all walks of life, not just comedians, roasting Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
The final person was a surprise guest. And it was Katt Williams.
Now, they have a thing, don't they?
Yes, they have had a beef.
Yeah,
so real beef for decades.
Yeah, so why? I think a lot of it is Katt's jealousy, but sure.
It was funny, even though one of my friends was like, it wasn't all that funny. I was like, oh, it was funny. And it was historic because at the end, Kevin Hart was like, look, everybody knows and we didn't have a beef. Let's just go ahead and squash it because I'm a fan of yours first and foremost. And they hugged it out.
Okay, that's nice.
But there's been a little bit of backlash, as most things in comedy is done, because Chelsea Handler was there. Tony Kitcliffe, the dude that did the Trump rally at Madison Square Garden that said some racist jokes.
Why was he there?
They had a lot of comedians. Shane Gillis hosted it, and everybody calls Shane Gillis MAGA, and I don't necessarily, he does a great Donald Trump impersonation. I don't know that he's necessarily MAGA, as he would say.
I do find him controversial in a very, sometimes harmful way.
Yeah, he's also really funny.
Yeah, I mean,
he's also really funny.
Sometimes. And then sometimes I'm like, ugh. But I mean, first of all, a roast is going to go too far. That's kind of the point. The point is that the roast is going to go too far. And then when you pick people like Shane Gillis and Chelsea Handler, it's gonna go too damn far.
There were some racist jokes.
Yeah.
And there was a joke
about George Floyd. And then when you invite that racist MAGA guy, I don't even know why he was even there. Who invited him?
Oh, well, Chelsea Handler handed him. But there were some racist jokes, and even a joke about George Floyd that has gotten black people up in them, because Kevin Hart laughed about a joke that was joking about the death of George Floyd. Look.
Do you know what the joke was?
I don't remember what it was. It was in bad taste.
Yeah.
But I always like going to Ryan Davis, the comedian Ryan Davis. I feel like he's really sensible and gives a good outlook on how we should view comedy.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, look, a roast used to just be a thing between comedians in a back room that wasn't for public consumption. And the way comedians joke around each other is no different than the way individual people, I'm paraphrasing, I'm adding my own little twist to what he said. When he described the roast, the way he described it is no different than me and my boys in our group chat. I do not want our group chat public.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, it was who made them public of things, like Dean Martin?
But here's the thing. I don't think they were I think they had an audience, but I think those videotapes of those came later, like after everybody's death. I don't think that they were selling those videotapes during that time. And if they were first of all, they weren't videotapes because they were filmed in like the 60s and 70s. And what they
Right.
were probably done is like those record recordings. Like Richard Pryor used to have the concerts on record that you would listen to, but it probably wasn't for mass consumption. You had to probably go into a little back room and go buy it. Now this was on Netflix.
Now I found the joke. Not y'all can find it. I'm not gonna repeat it. The George Floyd joke. Unless you want me to, I will. But it was Tony Hinchcliffe, who I think is the
Yes, he
person
is.
from
Yep.
Yeah, it was his joke. Do I want to say this?
Just say it now.
Yeah, okay. Hinchcliffe faced backlash for a George Floyd joke, telling Hart, quote, "The Black community is so proud of you. Right now, George Floyd is looking up at us all,
yeah.
laughing so hard he can't breathe."
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, because that's not really a roast of Kevin Hart. That's just a shot, an
It's a
unnecessary
shot at the Black community.
Yeah, it's a shot at George Floyd.
Yeah.
But once again, I have to go back to Ryan Davis. These things aren't supposed to be for public consumption. And so Kevin Hart is getting some backlash because he laughed at that joke.
Yeah.
That's number one. He laughed at that joke. And two, not everything has to be monetized.
Right.
And they should know that they were going to get some backlash because in today's culture, people ain't standing for it. I don't think people are more sensitive. I think people have a voice now to say, hey, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But also, some of that stuff was funny. Some of it is funny.
Some of it's funny, and like I said, you expect for it to go too far, but the roast should be a roast.
Yes.
Of the person. That, first of all, that person should have never been invited, because why are you even in a black space?
But that wasn't a black space.
It's the roast of Kevin Hart.
That's not a black space. Kevin Hart just doesn't operate in black spaces. Not anymore. No. I saw a funny meme, and it was Chelsea Handler sitting next to Regina King.
Mm-hmm.
And it was when you invite your two different friend groups to the same gathering.
Right.
Because he and Kevin Hart and Chelsea Handler just did something on Netflix where they gave a comedian like a contract. It was like a contest. So they are friends.
Yeah.
So is he and Regina King, right? And they're different demographics, not only because of a black woman and white woman, but just as far as the humor is concerned, is different.
Now, what do you think about this? Okay, so for his part, Shane Gillis, joked about Jeffrey Epstein, lynching, and slavery. At one point saying that Hart's ancestors, quote, came to America in a slave ship in a bottle.
Yeah. No, I saw that. Okay, when you read the joke, not that funny. When you see him tell the joke, hilarious. And because it's not racist. What he said, what he's saying is, because Kevin Hart is short,
little.
Right?
Yeah, get it.
So you had to see. For me, Shane Gillis, I've watched his stand-ups, and he talked about going to see George Washington's home.
Yeah,
and then he said everybody's like doing the reenactments, they're acting in that time period, and he was like, oh, these are slave quarters. Oh, this is the same person that talks about how he has delayed onset Republican because he watches World War II documentaries. He's got early onset Republican.
He's just a middle-aged white guy. That's all that means.
Or just a middle-aged man, because I love World War II documentaries.
I don't know what y'all's obsession is with World War II. I get you're a historian, but like, what is the middle-aged man's like obsession with World War II?
I believe the man's obsession with World War II is the call to action that men did after we were attacked. Only after we were attacked, ladies and gentlemen.
Only after we were attacked. Like, let's be very clear about what we knew when, and then when we actually got involved and why.
It took a long little while. And just that, I would have done the same thing. Like, I would go fight for freedoms in our country like everybody else did. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Y'all lock your doors in a bad neighborhood. Like, you're not
like the car doors as they're moving. The car driving lock. I'm like, you moving? Is somebody gonna jump in? They gonna jack you as you're moving?
Like, come on now. A lot of y'all would not have been storming them beaches.
No, but I mean, it's also about that's the only time in modern history where there is a world villain. There's multiple, but there is a world villain. Like, if you were if you were going to create a movie, Hitler is like the ultimate villain.
Yeah.
And to vanquish him like that, and America being the deciding factor in that, like, there's a sense of pride that comes along with that.
Wasn't it the last war we won?
No, because we did win the Iraq War.
Did we?
Both of them. Well, one was a conflict, Desert Storm, but we did win the war in Iraq when W came down on that plane.
Did we? He said mission accomplished, but
no, we won. We got Saddam. So we did win that one. But I mean, World War II, because then the Korean War was basically a stalemate. That was a draw. That means you didn't win. Vietnam War didn't win. So, yeah, I mean.
And it was honestly the last war or conflict where the reason for it was actually heroic and like a humanitarian reason. It wasn't like for oil or money or power or land or position. I mean, what we all know, like, we know really, like, America is not altruistic like that. But the way you can frame it is there's this big bad villain and we are going to save the world. Like, it is a very like heroic, I guess, kind of thing where you can, even though whatever. But,
it was the last time that we were actually a savior.
Yeah.
Sort of. Kind of. Or maybe the only time. As we've gone off topic.
Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, Shane, you have to actually watch that joke. See, that's the reason why when people read stuff, I'm like, oh, you can't read a joke. You can't read a joke. You don't get the full feeling of it. You gotta watch it and hear it and understand. So that joke with Shane Gillis, I saw it and I laughed. I thought it was funny. And I'm the first person to jump on racism. I'm like, nah, that's racist. I ain't messing with that. Shane Gillis, I give a pass. But I guess the bigger question is, with our culture right now, do you think any of these younger celebrities would be able to survive a roast?
No. I honestly don't know that we should keep doing it.
I think that we could do it we roast behind closed doors. Not everything is for public consumption.
Yeah, I don't think we should be televising these. If comedians want to do this amongst themselves, I get it. It's like a tradition among comedians. Then sure, that's fine. But keep it amongst yourselves. Like, we don't need to see it. I mean, it's just kind of like when you go back and watch shows from the 90s and you're just like, oh, this is very problematic stuff. Zach Morris was trash. Martin
Zach was trash.
Martin was misogynistic and not really a great friend.
Horrible friend.
Yeah. So it's like, you go back and you watch this, not to mention it's, homophobic, but like you go back and watch the stuff, you're like, ooh, I'm glad, we take it as it is for what it was in that time. Like we can take it, in the context of the time period that it was in. But I think a lot of stuff, as we start to like mature in our emotional intelligence and then how we relate to each other, a lot of stuff has got to go by the wayside. And the comedians crying and boohooing, oh, we can't be funny anymore. If you need to be harmful in order to be funny, then you're not very funny. Like, I, I'm
Oh, come on now. Some of our favorite comedians used to joke on people in the crowd. That's how we grew up on Def Comedy Jam. We
yeah,
play the dozens. That's how
but
that's how we
no,
do.
that's fine. A woman walking in a silver lame dress and you saying how she looks like a baked potato, like that's hilarious. Like, so I get that. Shout out to Robin Harris, but like that's not what's happening.
Right. Yeah,
That's not what's
okay.
happening. And I hate to circle back to Dave Chappelle and his transphobic jokes, but like that's what's happening now. It's not, it used to be when you point out these things, it's a commentary on, the ridiculousness of something, right? But that's not really not really what it feels like it is now. It feels like it's just straight up you're being harmful. Like, what are you trying to say with this?
Mm, I hear what you're saying. Comedy is art and art is subjective. So I don't know.
But
I just
freedom of speech don't give you freedom to, from getting your ass whooped. So
yeah, that's
say
true.
what you want, but take the consequences like a man, honestly.
True.
Not to be, sexist, but
Just
take it
using
like a
that
man.
phrase. Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of people making terrible decisions, like Kevin Hart deciding to put this on Netflix and make money off of it, we're going to talk about a couple of news stories that had me in my thoughts and need a lot of people in their prayers. And we're going to get into that next. Jay, the world actually might just be burning. I know that's hyperbolic, but
Not really.
I tend to not over exaggerate or overblow situations that happen. I
Mhm.
tend to stay pretty measured. But these next two stories that I saw in the news, I was like, ain't no way in hell this is happening in today's society. So
Yeah.
the first story is about a parent who's being charged for manslaughter because of their child.
Mm.
So, an Orange County, California mother named Tammy Jo Mayer is facing involuntary manslaughter charges after prosecutors say her 14-year-old son struck and killed an 81-year-old man while riding a high-powered, basically motorcycle,
Yeah.
illegally, by the way. This
Mm.
happened April 16th of this year, happened in Lake Forest, California. Authorities say the teenager was allegedly doing wheelies before striking the 81-year-old Vietnam veteran and
Mm.
substitute teacher Ed Hashman. Hashman later died from his injuries. That caused prosecutors to upgrade the charges to involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors also say the deputies had already warned the mother in 2025 about her son riding recklessly. Authorities say she continued allowing him to ride anyway. They also allege she later lied about ownership and access to the bike. So
Mm.
she's been charged with involuntary manslaughter, felony child endangerment, accessory after the fact, contributing to delinquency of a minor, providing false information to the police, and in allowing an unlicensed minor to operate a motor vehicle.
Mhm.
Why does this case matter? This case opens up a huge conversation about parental accountability. And what point does negligence become criminal, especially after authorities already warned you directly?
Yeah.
So I didn't gave everybody this, but I'm just going to paint a picture.
Mhm.
It's not an e-bike. It's an e-motorcycle because it's been souped up and it can go, these things could go all the way up to 60 miles per hour.
Yeah.
It's a
An
14-year-old.
e-bike usually tops out about 30, 35 miles per hour. This is so this child didn't have no business driving an e-motorcycle at the age of 14. Zero.
None. And he's riding recklessly, popping wheelies, right?
Right.
And the
Where
cops
you think yeah, Baltimore, Philly? You think you're a 12 o'clock boy? You're not. You're in Orange County.
What do you think he's part of McMill's group?
Yeah, who you think you are?
And he hit this man, once again, Vietnam veteran, substitute teacher. And the cops done told her he's not supposed to be riding this. So she is just like, the hell with what y'all say. This is America. This is a free country. And now she's paying the price. And I was watching this, and at first I was like, why should the parent be charged? Before hearing the story, just reading the headline, why should the parent be charged for the kid's actions? Then I read the story, and I was like, oh no, she should ride underneath the jail because they done told her. And she decided not to be a parent.
Even if they hadn't. He didn't buy this bike himself. You bought it. You bought this machine for someone who is underage and is not legally allowed to ride it. And then whether she said free country, he can do whatever he wants, or she can't control him, regardless, this is a child. His frontal lobe is not fully formed. He does not get to make these decisions. He also doesn't get to be held accountable for them. But somebody does need to be held accountable, and that's going to be you. Now, it just so happened that this is a story where she was told before, she had lied to police and all these things. And so it's like, it's easy to be like, no, she should be held accountable for this. But even if none of that was true, and she had just bought the bike and let this child unlawfully ride this bike, this is a child. They can't sign a contract. They can't be held legally responsible for things at the age of 14.
Okay, I agree with everything that you're saying. Let me just pose a scenario at you. Alan Rich, Jack Reacher, the actor that plays Jack Reacher, was just in an altercation last month while riding bikes with his two sons in the neighborhood that I want to imagine are just like this bike this young kid had.
They were on e-bikes and they were on the street. They had proper helmets and pads on. They were riding with a parent under parental supervision. I don't see a problem with that.
Okay.
There's not unlawful for them to have. Now, an e-motorcycle is completely different.
He was on a motorcycle. Alan Richardson was on a motorcycle.
Yeah, but I think the kids were either on like dirt bikes or e-bikes or something like that.
But a dirt bike is a motorcycle.
But I don't think that there is an age restriction on dirt bikes. I mean, it depends on the state, I think, but
I don't know if there's an age restriction on motorcycles.
A motorcycle, you have to have a license to operate.
I mean, you do with a dirt bike as well. You should. But I mean, basically, the second time I got my motorcycle's license, because ladies and gentlemen, in case y'all didn't know, I had gotten a motorcycle license twice. The first time I was in my early 20s. When I moved states, they didn't transfer the M from my Maryland to Virginia that designates I'm a motorcycle rider. I had stopped riding. And at that time, my ex-wife was like, you're not going to get on a motorcycle again. And I was like, you know what? You're probably right. But it got around my 40th birthday, and I guess it was midlife crisis. I decided to go get my motorcycle license again. Got it again, and one of the bikes that we were learning on was kind of like a dirt bike. And that was the bike that the instructors told me to use because I was so big, and not to use one of the smaller bikes. And that bad boy almost sent me into a barricade during my testing. I almost failed the testing because that throttle, it's real loose. That throttle, I don't win. And ladies and gentlemen, do I ride now? No. I did. I got the license, immediately got into an accident, and decided never to get on a bike again. And that's it for me. I still got the M on my license.
Yeah. So
not gonna get another bike.
So for dirt bikes, because they are used off-road, but you can use them on public roads.
Mm-hmm.
If you are using them off-road, you do not need a driver's license.
Mm-hmm.
If you use them
Stop saying, I'm
on,
gonna need you to stop saying driver's license, motorcycle license.
you don't need a license, whatever. You
Yeah,
don't need
okay.
a license. It's still an operator's license.
Okay, you don't. When a person get their CDL, you don't say you got your driver's license. They got their CDL. Let's just.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Okay. So, but if you intend to ride on public roads, one, the dirt bike must be converted to street legal, so headlights, taillights, mirrors,
Mhm.
all of that, and you do need a valid license with a Class M motorcycle endorsement.
Yeah.
That's Georgia. I don't know about wherever. I assume
California.
California.
I'm going to imagine if that's Georgia,
California's stricter.
California is going to be stricter. So, but it also leads to another. This whole situation leads to another question: how responsible are parents for reckless teenager behavior? Not solely talking about this scenario because the parent is absolutely responsible, but like if your young child is out there in the community slinging that rack,
Mm-hmm. A
uh,
lot of them are tried as adults.
the children are, but should the parents be held responsible, right? Like, should the parents be held responsible for Dylan Roof? Should the parents be held responsible for what's the boy that shot the that's a MAGA mascot that shot the people that were protesting?
Kyle Rittenhouse.
Should the parents be responsible for Kyle Rittenhouse? Should the parents be responsible for the kids that go and shoot up the schools when maybe they took the precautions of locking the guns away and the kids just broke into the gun? Like, where is it the responsibility of the parents?
I think it's case by case, and it's up to the DA and the judge. Like, some instances,
do we want to leave things like that up to the DA?
Their job is to.
I know, but we just know because of the criminal justice system. I know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the criminal justice system in America is broken. We all know that. But the job of a DA and a judge is to, pass judgment. So yes.
Right. I get it. Yeah.
So I think it's case by case. I think in some of the instances, like the school shootings, the parents were held liable for providing assault weapons to their underage children, and in some instances parents weren't. I think it just depends on the level of involvement. I think this instance specifically, because she was told before and then made false statements to police and all of these things, that's why you accountable. Somebody died. Somebody has to be held responsible for this. That kid also needs to be held responsible for this. And if that means some sort of inpatient thing where you get some sort of treatment, or whether that means juvie or something
Now, we ain't talking about juvenile 400 degrees either.
Nah, absolutely not. Everybody deserves that.
You're right.
Especially because he back out and better than ever.
Okay, we're doing our ADHD thing again, but
yeah,
I agree with everything you're saying, and I want to leave the audience with this. As we talk about this, let's get to the uncomfortable truth that people don't want to talk about. And a lot of parents know their kids are reckless.
Mm-hmm.
They just never think the consequences are going to reach this level.
Yeah.
And this should be a wake-up call for parents because you are responsible for your kids' actions sometimes, especially when it affects other people's lives.
Yeah. Your kid's a little shit. Why are you letting them just be outside causing the same havoc that they cause in your home to other people? Get it together. And that's 100% your fault. Sorry.
Yeah. But that wasn't the only story. Some people are chasing attention online harder than they're chasing humanity because there was this TikTok trend. And I'm not on TikTok like that. I mean, I'm on TikTok, but not like that. You love TikTok. I'm an Instagram person.
I have not been on since the presidential election.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a TikTok trend that's targeting the unhoused in this country. Police and prosecutors in New York say multiple attacks against unhoused people may be connected to this disturbing social media trend. Authorities say young people are allegedly targeting vulnerable individuals for clout, attention, and online videos. One case in Binghamton, New York,
Mm-hmm.
5 teenagers, ages between 13 and 15, allegedly attacked a 45-year-old unhoused man named Peter Bindum. He later died from his injuries. Charges escalated into murder as the case was developed because he died. In another case in New York City, in Times Square, as a matter of fact, a 17-year-old has been charged in fatally stabbing a 39-year-old man. Investigators say the suspect allegedly admitted the attack was inspired by the TikTok-related trend. Why does this story matter? Because it's bigger than just social media. It's about people becoming emotionally disconnected from violence, and recording their crimes has become part of the crime itself. The internet has created a culture where some people think attention is worth anything and not human life. So, Jay, when I saw this story, I was on YouTube and I came across, it was a local New York broadcast, and I said, what the hell? There's no way in hell this is happening. Look, when me and my boys were teenagers, we did dumb stuff like egging people's homes, kicking down mailboxes, toilet paper in people's houses. Things that are stupid, things that cost people money to fix, right?
Yes.
Not good. But we weren't unaliving people, and we weren't picking on the unhoused people for clout. And I don't understand how that's clout.
Yeah. We're in hell. The world's not burning. We're in hell.
Okay.
My thing is, why would you want the clout of a murderer? I don't want that kind of fame or infamy. Something is happening to the morality of young people. Something's going wrong.
Hold on.
We need...
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
It's not just young people. It's not just young people. We saw people that could barely walk up the stairs on January 6th that were calling to hang Mike Pence. It's not just young people. It is people.
No, but something is going on in general where I feel like social media is making people lose their minds. Like, why would you... I saw on TikTok people attacking vulnerable people, so I was like, cool, I can get some likes. Let me stab someone? That doesn't even make sense. Like, the logic, and I get that this is a 17-year-old. Again, there's another situation. Frontal lobe not formed. What the hell is going on where there is clearly a disconnect, a moral disconnect? Like, I'm not saying that this particular thing is new. It's not new. The unhoused, vulnerable communities have always been vulnerable to violence. If you finish what the vulnerable is, a lot of times it's to violence, right? Yes, there's economic vulnerability, housing vulnerabilities. There's different kinds of vulnerabilities, but a lot of the times what we're saying is that communities like this are vulnerable to violence, right? Because people think that unhoused people don't matter.
That they're less than.
That they're less than.
Yeah.
It's truly disgusting, because if we all took real stock, if we all looked at our bank accounts, we are half a step from being in the same situation. So many of us living check to check. And don't say us that they're lazy and living out on the street just begging for change. A lot of it is mental health issues that we do not do a good job at all in this country of addressing. We don't do a good job of addressing drug addiction. mental health, alcoholism. We do not do a good job of that. We do not do a good job of providing places for people to get back on their feet or ways for people to get back on their feet. We don't do a good job of taking care of vulnerable communities. And so that's why people think that it's okay to attack people because society has turned their back on them. But this is not okay. None of this is okay. This should not be any kind of trend. The only trend that this should be is like a trend of let's call out this insane behavior.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are going to push back to this segment, and they're going to say, well, look, TikTok already came out and said this isn't an official trend. Yo, social media trends don't have to be official to influence behavior.
Okay, because Mark Zuckerberg ain't never launched no trend of nothing. Okay, like get real. The trends are started by the people.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as somebody creates the hashtag and it takes off, the trends are started by the people.
You know, I read something years ago, and I haven't done a whole lot of research. I'm freestyling right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm freestyling about when the movie Psycho came out.
Mm-hmm.
There was so much shock and awe because Psycho is the original slasher film, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That it was so much shock and awe that people actually threw up in the movie theater. They weren't used to seeing that type of violence, like in person. But it led the way for filmmakers to start making more and more violent movies that were getting more and more attention.
Yeah.
And there is something in the human psyche that we look at that car crash on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
We were tuned in, not me and you because we weren't born yet, but we were tuned in during the Vietnam War, watching what was going on. During World War II, when they were showing those film reels about what was going on, they were showing them in movie theaters and people were packing in movie theaters. We are drawn to violence.
Mm-hmm.
As we see violence through entertainment, because violence has increasingly become entertainment online.
Yeah, it used to be where in movies and TV shows, they never showed violence towards children. And now that's just gone out the damn window.
Oh, I look at Law & Order SVU, and it used to always be something was about to happen. You knew what was about to happen and it would cut off.
Yeah.
You wouldn't actually see the act. And then they just started showing the act, and I was like, oh, no. Like, I don't actually want to see that. I can't watch the show anymore.
You got young people watching Game of Thrones. And this is a tangent, and I'm sorry, but it's lazy writing. It's so lazy. This is why I never got into Game of Thrones. And if y'all come for me, I really don't care. It's such lazy writing to go to SA as just a trope of like, it's so lazy. This is a made up world. This is a world you made up. Why is every episode?
Filmmakers have always been doing that, though.
It's
like
so lazy.
Like those movies, the movies from the 70s, The Last House on the Left. Y'all don't know what that movie is about? Google it. It was in the movie theater. It was in one of them grindhouse movie theaters. It was, they remade it. They remade it no longer than 10 or 15 years ago. There was always this woman that was essayed in this most brutal way, but then came back and killed their attackers. And you're like, yes, she won in the end, but why did this need to be the basis of the story anyway?
Right.
Not just that, Game of Thrones, I thought, had needless, excessive violence.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I never got into it. Our brother loved that show. He showed it to me one time. I was like, I don't want to watch this. He's like, why? It's great. I was like, I don't get my entertainment out of seeing excessive, kind of nonsensical violence, extreme violence. I was like, if I want to see that, I can go take a walk out in the street because that's real.
Yeah.
That's real. And I don't want to see that in my entertainment, but people are watching that and becoming desensitized. You know, the kids that did the Columbine, they said they were playing the video game Doom, and Doom at the time was this revolutionary game that showed blood and guts, even though you were shooting aliens and things like that. But they said they had become so desensitized that they thought that it was a video game as they were going around shooting people.
Yeah.
We've become desensitized because of entertainment. We just have.
Yeah.
And it leads to stuff like this. Also, kids are growing up online faster than adults understand the internet.
Yes.
Like technology moves at such a rapid pace.
Yeah.
Unless you're in it, you won't understand it. Kevin on stage just did a rant yesterday about this new thing on Instagram where you could send like an instant portrait or something like that
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram. And he was like, Instagram, why are y'all adding more stuff, new stuff? First it was, he was like, I remember when Instagram was just posting pictures. Then it became reels. Then it became stories. Then it became notes. And you got to do all of this. Why? Then it was just DMs. Then it could be vanishing messages and DMs. Like, why? Technology moves at such a fast pace. Kids are in it. It's not fast to them. But for adults, it's too fast. And the algorithms reward shocking content, whether intentionally or unintentionally.
These platforms are not doing a good enough job keeping violent content off of their platforms.
I don't know if they can. I don't know if they could, even if they wanted to, because technology is too fast.
You shouldn't be able, there's a lag when you upload something. It has to be vetted. If that's the extent that we have to go to.
You know how many people are uploading per second on TikTok and Instagram?
Yep. It's not instant. There's gonna be a lag while it gets vetted.
You
in
would
a
do
much
that
more thorough way.
You would have to do that on X, Threads,
Blue
Sky, Instagram,
everything.
TikTok.
We know True Social ain't gonna do it, but everything. Well, yes.
I mean, them Trump phones is about to be released, so you can't say nothing bad about them. No, they just said it earlier today. They're going on. The first shipment is going out. No, Samsung Galaxy 2s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and y'all not getting that phone. Sorry.
No, they are. Some people are finally getting them.
You're getting something. You're not going to get the thing that you were promised. Certainly not.
Well, look, all I can say is that I don't think the cat's already out of the bag. It's like the advent of the internet.
Yeah.
When that happened, you were going to have a dark side of the internet.
Yes.
You were.
It used to be hidden. You know, like you think about snuff films of the 70s or something like that. It was away somewhere. Mm-hmm. And common decent folk were like, that's not okay.
Yeah.
And the people that watch that are also not okay. And there was shame around it. But now with the internet, everybody's on it. And so everybody has access to things that they should not have access to, particularly young people, but definitely just anybody.
Yeah. You ain't lying, but guess what?
What?
Here's the uncomfortable part people don't like talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Some people aren't chasing happiness online anymore. They're chasing attention, even if somebody has to suffer for it. All right, let's lighten this up a little bit because the world is exhausting. And am I the jerk? Now, I don't typically bring the I am the jerk sort of Reddit posts for the main show, but I wanted to bring something down a little bit that I thought was funny, but also a semi-serious conversation.
Okay.
So the title of this Reddit post, Am I the Jerk? Am I the jerk for having my neighbor's car towed after she kept parking in my assigned spot?
Should not have access to, particularly young people, but definitely just anybody.
Yeah. You ain't lying, but guess what?
No.
Okay, you say that now.
Okay. Let me read. It's gotta be something monumental to convince me.
Okay. I'm a 28-year-old male and living in a small apartment complex with assigned parking. Each tenant gets one number spot, and a guest parking is very limited. I work night shifts at the hospital, usually getting home around 6:30 a.m., completely exhausted. Because of that, having my assigned parking spot close to my building honestly matters a lot to me. About 4 months ago, a new tenant moved in across from me. She's a single mom with two young kids, probably around 5 and 7. At first, we got along just fine. A few weeks after moving in, she asked if she could occasionally use my parking space when she had groceries or the kids were asleep in the car because her assigned spot was further away. I
Nope.
said, I said, sure, occasionally, because I'm trying to be nice.
Nope.
But it slowly turned into an everyday thing. Jay, will you stop so I can finish reading this?
Okay, go ahead. But you messed up already.
I'd come home from a 12-hour shift and her car would be in my spot probably 3 to 4 times a week. At first, I'd text her.
We ain't only got 7 times.
Jay, if you don't quit interrupting me. At first, I'd text her and she'd apologize and move it. Then it became, can you just use guest parking tonight, or the kids are already asleep? The problem is guest parking fills up fast, especially overnight. More than once, I had to park on the street outside the complex and walk back half asleep in scrubs. A few weeks ago, I told her politely that I really needed my spot consistently and couldn't keep giving it up. She seemed annoyed, but said okay.
Okay,
Then-
you don't get to be annoyed over my things, but okay.
Then last weekend, I came home after an especially rough shift and her car was there again. I texted her and got no response. I waited about 20 minutes before calling the tow company listed on the apartment side, and her car got towed. About an hour later, she started pounding on my door, crying and furious because apparently getting your car back costs over $200. She kept saying I could have just knocked and that I have no idea how hard it is with kids. I do feel bad about the money situation, especially because she's raising 2 kids alone. But at the same time, I already warned her multiple times and I was tired of consistently giving up something I literally pay for every month. Now a couple of neighbors are acting like I'm heartless for towing a single mother's car over a parking spot, while others say she took advantage of me for months. Am I the jerk?
Yes and no.
Okay.
First of all, listen. Stop listening to other people. Oh, the neighbors think I'm heartless. So, I don't care about none of y'all. I don't care. Oh, the family is calling and they're upset with me and so, who cares? Who cares? Yes and no. No, you are not, because it's your spot that you pay for and you have the right at any time to rescind her access to that spot. Right? You warned her multiple times. She kept doing it. So no, it's late/early. You just want to go home, go to sleep. You call, you text, you gave her 20 minutes. Nothing. Okay, well, I already told you not to park in my spot. Here's where you messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Where I say, also, you are the jerk. You shouldn't have never said yes. You should have never, ever, ever said yes. To be nice. There are too many times that people do things to be nice and you end up resentful because people are going to take advantage of you. Okay? When she said, hey, can I occasionally, if you wanted to be nice, you needed to set up boundaries of what occasionally means. Because 3 to 4 times out the week and the week only got 7 times, that's damn near all the times. Okay, that's not occasionally to me. Occasionally means maybe once or twice a month. Right? Occasionally is not every damn day. You knew you had them kids when you moved in here and got that spot way the far away.
Way the far away.
Way the far away. Okay? Your single motherhood and kids and all that stuff, God bless you, but baby, that's not my problem. That's not my problem. And it's people like this, a guy like this sense of entitlement. It's the same as some people that be like, hey, do you mind switching seats with me on a plane so I can sit next to my family? You should have bought seats together. No, I'm not switching up what I'm doing to accommodate you. Why would I do that? Because we're neighbors? I don't care. That might sound heartless or whatever. Oh, so... But the moment you open up that door and you never set parameters of like, hey, you can use it maybe once or twice a month in an emergency if you need to. Please text me beforehand and let me know so that I don't come home expecting my spot to be free. Also, this is what my schedule looks like. This is what time you need to make sure once you get the kids in that you move the car to your spot. Like that should have been the conversation. Not, yeah, sure, that's fine to be nice. Because I did that with old neighbors. And what did they do? They took a damn advantage. And it's sad to say that. It's like, you know, you don't want to be cynical, but you also got to be real. Like when people make their problems your problem, that's not good. So, no, you did warn her, you told her you have the right to your things, but also you opened the door for this.
Okay. I agree and disagree with you at the same time. How is that possible, Bruce? I'm about to explain. I am him.
Yeah, I know.
I would not hesitate to be like, occasionally, yeah, you know, if you needed to use a spot, that's no problem. I understand you got a tough situation. Yeah, I come home late. Occasionally, that's not a problem. When he came home from that 12-hour shift, and he'd already talked to her about, hey, you know, this is starting to become a little bit more frequent than occasional.
Yeah.
And then she said to him, can't you just use guest parking, or the kids are already asleep, I can't move it. I would have said to her right then and there, you can't use my parking space anymore. You've taken advantage of the situation. I am no longer going to allow you to use my parking space. Don't park in my parking space again.
Yeah.
Had he said those exact things and then told her.
We don't know what he said specifically, but he said a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I need my spot consistently and cannot keep giving it up.
But it's that keep. It's that keep. I can't keep giving it up. That meant that you got to be more defined and definite, right? He was just annoyed that he played the nice guy. He probably I know what it was. It was.
It was him playing the nice guy. Don't make it a thing.
He probably.
No, this is a single mom with 2 kids. He's just looking at the situation.
Look, those be the best. Hold on. I love a single mom. Hey, single mothers out there, I love you. Bruce care, even if nobody else care. I love single moms. They ain't got a whole lot of time. That means that time that they can spend is for you. I love it. I love it. Anyway, okay, let me be serious, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I don't think he's a jerk at all in any scenario, because he gave her the warning. He was like, look, can't do it. Can't do it no more. And she basically was like, well, F you. I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Because she got his number. She could have been like, hey, I'm sorry. I know I had to grab the spot real fast. Why don't you text me before you get home? I can move it. If she had done something like that, or had sent me a text saying, hey, I apologize. I had to jump in because you give me an excuse.
Yeah.
Give me something.
Don't let me come home caught off guard that your car is there after I told you weeks ago not to do it anymore.
She finally came banging on your door an hour later after the car had already been towed. She had to know that the car was towed, because I've been told before. They don't tell you. They don't come knocking on your door. They tow your car.
Yeah.
That means that she had to find out her car was towed. So she found out her car was towed before she texted you back? Before she contacted or called you back?
Right.
I would have opened the door like, why you banging on my door worrying about the money that you spent? I texted you 20 minutes ago. I done told you beforehand.
An hour and 20 minutes ago.
An hour and 20 minutes ago, I done told you beforehand, stop parking in my space. You going to do it anyway, pay the $200. Yeah, I know it's rough. I guess this will be a lesson that you learned your lesson. I guess this will never happen again. It's a $200 lesson. I'm sorry. I tried to tell you.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm not going to park in guest parking when I have a spot that I paid for. But the thing of it is, I don't think it's a problem to be the nice person if what you're giving up really doesn't cause an inconvenience for you. I let my neighbor park in my driveway. I have a very large driveway. It was not an inconvenience for them to park in the driveway. It just wasn't. And so I didn't have a problem saying yes to that. If it was an inconvenience, like the fact that, I don't know, you work at a hospital, you work long shifts and crazy hours, and you just want to crash when you get home because of we only can imagine what you deal with during the day, right? And you just want to crash when you get home, then it is imperative that your spot be free. Then that means, no, you cannot. Hey, I would love to, but I need my spot.
Yeah, especially considering the fact there was a couple of times my man had to park outside the complex because all the guest parkers. Nah. Look.
Because where's her spot? Why couldn't he park at her spot?
That's a good question. Why couldn't he have
I'd have done that?
Well,
because it's probably even further than just parking outside the complex, and that's why she's mad. But girl, that's on you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get on the waiting list to get a closer
I don't think
spot.
he's a jerk at all. You said he's a jerk a little bit. I don't think he's a jerk at all.
I think
he was just trying to be a nice guy, and you're like, he should have set boundaries in the beginning. And I'm like, it's really hard to set boundaries for something that you don't know, like, if that's going to happen. Like, you can't see into the future. But once things start happening, he set boundaries, and she didn't honor the boundaries, so she got to get towed.
I think maybe it's because of my neurodivergent brain, but I can't live in the abstract. I was just talking to a coworker about this today. You can't just give me some kind of corporate platitude and think I'm going to understand what you mean. No, I need to know what occasionally means. How do you define occasionally?
Okay. Is that neurodivergent or trauma?
No, I need to know what that means. That's a very vague, a few, several, a couple I know is two. But when you start getting into vague things, what does occasionally mean?
Few is three. Occasionally, there is no number.
What does occasionally mean? Because every day, because that's what it ended up becoming. He said that
it wasn't every day. It was 3 to 4 times a week.
He said, but it slowly turned into an everyday thing. Her car would be in my spot probably 3 to 4 times a week.
That's not every day.
Let's just say that they don't work weekends. So now that you got 5 times and you in the spot 4 of them 5 times, that's every day. That's every day. That's not occasionally. Occasionally is occasional. Like it's infrequent. This is frequent. So I needed to know that occasionally to you meant frequent, where in my mind it means infrequent. This is where I'm like, he's not the jerk, but he made space for her to take advantage of the situation.
He did. But ladies and gentlemen, what do y'all think? Y'all drop a line in the comment section and let us know what you think. But before we get out of here, Jay, in a very short, non-long-winded Jay way, what do you want to tell the people out there?
Oh, man, log off.
Right.
Touch grass.
Touch grass. Maybe even touch a little bit of ass. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. You know that's my sign off, and you just had to do a little ad lib.
Sorry.
On that note, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for listening. I want to thank you for watching. And until next time, as always, I'll holla. Woo! That was a hell of a show. Thank you for rocking with us here on Unsolicited Perspectives with Bruce Anthony. Now, before you go, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, comment, and share our podcast wherever you're listening or watching it to it. Pass it along to your friends. If you enjoy it, that means the people that you rock will enjoy it also. So share the wealth, share the knowledge, share the noise. And for all those people that say, well, I don't have a YouTube. If you have a Gmail account, you have a YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can actually watch our video podcast and YouTube exclusive content. But the real party is on our Patreon page, After Hours Uncensored and Talking Straight-ish. After Hours Uncensored is another show with my sister. And once again, the key word there is uncensored. Those are exclusively on our Patreon page. Jump onto our website at unsolicitedperspective.com for all things us. That's where you can get all of our audio, video, our blogs, and even buy our merch. And if you really feel generous and want to help us out, you can donate on our donations page. Donations go strictly to improving our software and hardware so we can keep giving you guys good content that you can clearly listen to and that you can clearly see. So any donation would be appreciative. Most importantly, I want to say thank you for listening and watching and supporting us. And I'll catch you next time. Audi 5000. Peace.